Low Carb Diet. What to eat and what to avoid. Do you wish to follow a low carb diet but are unsure of what to eat and what to avoid? Or want to follow a low carb diet? Then this video is for you. Hi viewers, this is Kuratilan and you are watching Nutro Plus. Today we will talk about that if you want to lower the visceral fat, then you must lower the carbs in your diet. So let's start with which food you should eat and must avoid if you want to follow a low carb diet. Before we proceed, subscribe to our YouTube channel for more amazing content. As you know, there are numerous food options and it just gets difficult to choose which food has low carbs. But don't worry, I am here to solve your problem. To follow a low carb diet, you must stick to these 3 principles. So, the number 1 principle is you must increase the intake of proteins. Second is you must also increase the intake of healthy fats. And the last principle is you must also increase the intake of vegetables. Why should you follow it? Well, it will give you 3 benefits. Number 1 is it will speed up your weight loss process and you will quickly lose your weight. Number 2 is it will reduce the urge to eat again and again. That means your cravings will be in control. And last, number 3 is when you follow this type of diet, it will fill your stomach for longer and you will not feel hungry after some time. Now, do not consider carbohydrates as a villain in your weight loss journey. Carbohydrates are one of the main components that you must need for your body to properly function. So, let's ponder what happens when you eat any carbohydrates. When you eat carbohydrates, it passes from your mouth to the small intestine. There, the intestine breaks them into smaller sugar molecules and most particularly in glucose. As soon as it is converted into glucose or any sugar molecule, it gets absorbed and goes to blood vessels, particularly in the blood portal, and from there it spreads throughout your body. It also goes into your liver and circulates into your whole body. So what actually happens is you eat carbohydrates, your intestine digests it and breaks it into glucose. Glucose gets added into your blood, passes through the liver, and that blood spreads into your whole body. Now, when your body needs energy to do any task, the glucose molecules that are present in your blood are being used. And to use these molecules, insulin is needed. Without insulin help, glucose molecules cannot be used. Also, this condition can also happen that your blood has a higher amount of glucose. And there is also the availability of insulin, but your body does not need it. That means the supply is higher, but there is no utilization. In that case, the glucose gets reserved in your liver and in your muscles in the form of glycogen. So, what's the benefit of this reservation? Well, if any emergency occurs and your body needs glucose and it is present in less amount in blood vessels, then at that time, this stored glycogen breaks down into glucose and gets included in the bloodstream, and then your body will utilize it automatically. But your body converts these stored glycogen into fats if they remain unused for a longer period. So sometimes low carbs diet becomes a baseline diet to reduce fat and obesity. It is not always necessary to count your calories, that you have to eat this many grams of carbs. No. You should take whole fruits that nourishes you, completes your body needs and fills up your stomach. So the fact is a low carb diet is really effective in losing weight. It controls your appetite and does wonders for you to actually lose weight without feeling less energy in your body. When you follow a low carb diet, it is a fact that you will feel less hungry and less carbs will enter your body. So it is a win-win strategy. Why? Because proteins fill you up and it provides longer satiety and you feel less hungry. Science believes that if you follow a low carb diet, then in the first 6 months you fastly reduce weight and you can easily maintain it. Now, let's talk about what you should eat in this diet plan. You must eat protein-enriched food. What should be included in protein-enriched food? Protein-enriched food means lean protein food. You must add eggs, meat, chicken and tofu in your diet. And meat without skin can also be included in this diet plan. Other than that, you should also take mono and polyunsaturated fats. And you can take them from nuts, whether you eat walnuts, almonds, and Brazilian nuts. These all contain the right amount of mono and polyunsaturated fats. This falls in the healthy fats category. All these types of seeds like pumpkin seeds, sunflower seeds can also be used to reduce visceral fats. Avocado is the very richest source of these healthy fats. You must take it. Olives and olive oil are also beneficial for the intake of these mono and polyunsaturated fats. Fish, particularly salmon, is enriched with mono, polyunsaturated fats and with omega-3. You start taking lean protein and healthy fats, automatically your carbohydrates will get reduced. It's like they are inversely proportional to each other. Now, let's move to the meat section. In meat, you can take chicken, lamb, but skinless and fatless. You can also consume pork and beef with no fats. These are actually protein-enriched foods, and when you take them, you feel full for a longer time. These foods have the ability to satisfy your appetite. Likewise, seafood, for example, fish, salmon, mackerel, trout, has a good amount of healthy fats and omega-3. When these both are present, you feel full for a longer period. Likewise, eggs, they are protein enriched and you can take it in any form, either you make omelette, boiled egg or maybe scrambled egg. Take it any form you like. Why must you take it? Because they are rich in proteins. 6 gram protein is present in one egg. Also, they are fats enriched and omega-3 is also present. Now, let's move forward to what you should not take. First is sugar. You must avoid it 100%. Now, when I say avoid sugar, that means you must check the items in which sugar is hidden. Sugar is hidden in chocolate. You eat ice cream, sugar is present in it, so you must avoid it. You drink soda, fruit juice and cold drinks, and these items have sugar in it. All the breakfast cereals you eat in the morning like cornflakes, muesli, have sugar in it. All the heavy loaded sugar items like jalebi, gulab jamun, cakes, pastries and candies you should avoid, because all these items are like a powerhouse of sugar. You should avoid them 101%. Before eating any packed item, you need to check its ingredients. If added sugar is written on it, then you must restrain yourself from it. If you buy a drink packed juices and added sugar is mentioned on it, then you must avoid it to follow your diet plan. I know it gets hard sometimes, but if you want to lose or maintain your weight, you need to do this to live a healthy life. Artificial sugar should also be in your restricted list. You must avoid it. Now let's talk about starch. The complex carbohydrates present in starch are needed by your body, but there are some things you must ponder first. Actually, there are 2 types of carbohydrates: complex carbohydrates and refined carbohydrates. You must avoid refined carbohydrates or cereals. All these breakfast cereals are refined carbohydrates. White rice also falls in the category of refined carbohydrates, but brown rice is recommended. Whole wheat is fine, but white flour also falls in a group of refined carbohydrates. Bread made of whole wheat is recommended in moderate amounts, but layered whole wheat, flat bread, deep fried flat, these all items are made up of refined flour and is not recommended in reducing visceral fats or when you are following a low-carb diet. Barley also falls in the same category. These all are some items that you need to reduce, but it would be better if I say you need to totally restrict them. White bread, pasta, muesli, buns, you also need to avoid them when you want to lose the visceral fats. So let me clear you in simple ways which things you need to avoid. Count on your fingers with me. You need to avoid sugar, use moderate amount of complex carbohydrates, totally avoid refined carbohydrates, and lastly, you do not need to convert your simple meal into a high-carb diet. You need to take a low-carb diet. If you are a beginner in reducing visceral fat, I will say you must take a step forward. What you need to do is to reduce the amount of carbohydrates in your daily meal. You need to separate the simple sugar and refined carbohydrates. Moderate the amount of complex carbohydrates. Overall, you need to take a low-carb diet. If you follow this simple principle, then you can easily achieve the goal of following a low-carb diet, and if that gets achieved, then your weight will easily be maintained. This will lead you to maintain a healthy lifestyle and your central obesity will automatically be reduced gradually. So that's it for today. I hope you find it useful. Don't forget to share this video and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned to Nutro Plus and follow a healthy lifestyle. See you in the next video. Goodbye.